Okie dokie. Just go right into working with the rotation and just moving the feet. just do a few times each side, and then just change. Good. Good. Okay, we'll do something slightly different with the Joe. What we always do with these Joe rotations, turning this kind of movement, is one hand's always in control, and you're going to pass it between the hands. So always one hand in control. Whatever kind of you do, you've got this kind of theme. So we're going to do something slightly different where you're actually out of control with the Joe. So what you're going to do is allow the Joe to roll the way over the hand this way and catch it. So just start by this rotation. Just do this one way. You do this way over the hand this way. So you're going to allow the Joe to roll over the back of the hand, and then you're going to keep it and catch it. So just do this one way. Just roll it over the back of the hand. Start very slowly and just roll it over and allow it to just pass over the back of the hand. This way. You will probably lose the Joe quite a lot in this case. This is because the Joe's actually out of control. So it's actually normal to actually lose it. So don't worry about losing it. This is just that way. So just practice this one way, rolling over the wrist. That way. That way. That way. And really don't worry about losing the Joe. The more I worry about losing it, the more I will lose it. It's kind of inevitable. So just really relax into it. Just roll over the hand and catch it. Roll over, catch it. Roll over, catch it.
Wow.
Good. Aha. Okay. And try this both sides as well. So just roll it over the back of the hand. Roll it over the back. Roll it over the back. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Good, John. Yeah, that's it, John. Great.
This is too loud for me on my floor.
Oh, yeah. Good. Good. Okay, and what you can do is go the other way. So you're gonna rotate it back over this way. So it goes, in this case, over the thumb, and then you catch it. Rolls over the thumb and then catch it. Rolls over the thumb, catch it. Rolls over the thumb, catch it. That way. So now you release over. Good. That way. That way. That way. Good. super. Ah, good, 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 good. And the trick with this is do these either way, mix them in, but don't get frustrated again. Don't kind of get annoyed. It's just a matter of following it. So try see if you can keep it very slow. Just follow it. Try and see these. Actually, these are movements. See, you can make a connection in this case with these kind of blending movements that we make, especially this kind of movement we make here. This way, actually, the contact point's in the back of the hand. This way, and sometimes we do the contact point here with the back of the hand when we work in partner work. So it's actually using the we're very used to keeping the contact point in the palm of the hand. This is where the control mostly is. This is where the fingers close. This is where we get very used to controlling with the hand. But actually, the contact point can be anywhere on the body. So in this case, it's just shifting the contact point this way. So just go in and out. Good. Good. Okay, and just play now with both hands, but try and play with a different way. So we normally do exchanging underneath and then passing. Exchanging underneath, passing. In this case, play with actually losing the control. Roll over the hand. You can keep one hand or you can pass it into the other one. So just play a little bit. Rolling the jaw over the back of the hand. And then try and find that way. That way. Good. Ah, with the soft one. Good. Ah, good, good, good. Okay, and just open this out. So this is using the center of the jaw. This will give you a little bit more control now. So this is just playing with different positions on the jaw. Let it roll off and take the jaw somewhere else. But continue where the contact is. Keep the jaw here. Now roll it. Here, roll it. So you're just going to play. Don't think about where the jaw's going to go. Just take a grip and then allow it to move. And then take another grip. Allow it to move. Take another grip. So really explore different kind of positions. So this is much more now about the arm. You're going to keep the contact point mostly in the hand, but really allow the jaw to move around now. So allow it to move around the body. Take a grip somewhere else on the jaw. Really keep the arms fluid, flexible. So one hand in contact at a time. Just let it move. Ooh. Awesome. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Good. Great. Okay, and in this case, really see if you can start to move the body around. So keep the arms moving here and really start to move the body. What I'm really trying to do is get the jaw a little bit out of control, so that it's almost swinging by itself. And what I'm trying to do is move the body with it. So in this case, really allow the jaw to kind of move. You've got to kind of lose control of the jaw a little bit. If I take the jaw almost as we normally would grab it, then it becomes again like a kind of thing. It becomes very predictable. So I move, and then I move in predictable kind of ways. And in this case, what I'm looking to do is actually move in it slightly unpredictable. I don't really know what the jaw's going to do before it does it. So I'm slightly out of control, or the jaw's slightly out of control. And then what I'm trying to do is adapt my body to try and reintroduce a little bit of control. So start to play with the hands a bit more, but really use the body. Ooh. This way. This way. Just really play with the jaw a little bit. That's it. That's it. Good. That's it. Yeah, good. That's it. Super. Yeah. Good. Okay, then do the same thing, but you can't grab the jaw. So in this case, I can't grab it to move it. So in this case, what you're going to do is just use contact, use the fingers, use the whole hand, and move with it. But I can't grab it with the fingers. I grab it with the palm. So in this case, just making contact with it. You're going to lose the jaw quite a lot now. So you can also have it where it's on the ground as well. But really just actually start this with the jaw kind of on the ground. So you've got another point of contact. And with the hands, just fluidly move it. Just move around. In this case, the jaw's going to kind of move as well in the ground. But just really have a sense of the arms here in contact. Yeah, and again, don't try and do anything. Or don't try and manipulate the jaw too much. Just allow it to move and maintain some kind of contact. And the contact can be very little, it can be very light, just in the fingers, or it can be with the whole arm as well. So just play with different points of contact along the arm. This way, you'll lose the jaw. It's okay. Just play with it. Just find what's easier. It can be sometimes easier on the ground, or it can be easier just keeping it here. But don't grab it. Just move with it. That's it. Good. That's it. Yeah, great. Good. Super. Good, Marcel. Great. Good. Okay, and then you can do this as a kind of an extra thing. Just having it on the ground and just use one arm. You just can use one arm and really have the sense of making contact with it. This way. So just play with different contact points running down the arm. And see if you can just keep the jaw here. Try not to grab it. Just move with it this way. Okay. Play in this case without moving the feet. So this forces you to really make the arm very flexible. So you're going to go into positions maybe you're not used to that are a bit of a surprise. So just rolling really down the arm. Try and keep the feet in the same place. Really use the body, just one arm. Just rolling, coiling with it. feel once you feel slightly comfortable with it, start to move the feet as well. So start to work the feet with it. And start to really open the movement out. That's it. Really keep it flexible, fluid. Good. That's it. And then just change hands if you like. Oh, hello. Oh. That's it. Good. Ah, good. Marcel, great. Good, good, good. Great. Yeah, great. Yeah, and then some of you starting to play with this, go now to both hands. So you're going to kind of pass it between the hands. And in this case, what you're going to do is lose the contact with the jaw. So you're going to there's going to be a moment where the jaw's out of contact with all the body. That means it's totally free. Okay, so it's going to do its own thing. You do its own thing. So in this case, allow it some freedom, and then see if you can reconnect to it. And then kind of press out of it. Press out of it. Roll through it. And just play with one hand in contact at a time. Just rolling through it. Play with the contact, press it out, and then find something else. Really using the body now to move the weapon. You got to stay active. Oy. Roll down. So one arm in contact. That's it. Good. 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 And if this is super easy for you, then don't use the hand. So you can't make contact with the hand. You can only use contact on the arm. So this way. And try to avoid the arm. Try to avoid the hand. This way. You can also bounce the contact. So play with different kinds of contact. You've got a kind of soft, elongated contact that's constant, and you've got a kind of pulsing, bouncing. So play with different kinds of contact. You will get the jaw to do for different things. This way. Whee. That's it. Yeah. Good. That's it. Yeah, great. Yeah, good one. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Great, John. Great. Yeah, there we go. Great. Yeah. Exactly. Great. Yeah, exactly. Great. Super. Good. Great. That's it. Eva, nice. Yeah. That's it. Super. Great. Yeah, great. Okay, great. So in this case, you can really play. I would go to the feet, but I've got a very wet floor. I can't lift my legs too far off the ground at the moment. So you can also play with, like Marcel's doing, playing with the legs. So you can also play with the contact in the legs and the thigh, and into the. This is also a really great one with the back of the leg this way and pressing it this way. And you can also play with the contact really going into the body as well. So if you like play with this a lot, in this case, we're going to go to the things we were looking at Monday, Tuesday, of taking the grip. So in this case, taking the grip from the top, inside and outside, and taking the grip from below, inside and outside. So we didn't do the outside one, but we'll go into that a little bit later. But in this case, just play with the Joe being here. Really open the movement out. So start kind of small, just taking the top. Yeah, and then just to let the Joe fall. Yeah, this way. So you just start with the top one. This way. Inside on top. This way. Just really kind of connect with it. Let it go. And then just connect to it. Connect to it. Connect to it this way. Yeah, so just really let it go. Connect to it. Yeah, give it a try. So just taking from the top. That's it. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, there's a game I sometimes play with the adults. I always play it with the kids. I get them to hold the Joe like this, and then the other person's here. The hand floats above, and then I drop the Joe, and they've got to catch it. Okay. Now in this case, if you go to grab like snatching, your percentage of taking the Joe is quite low. In this case, what happens is the hand tries to do it, and the body's kind of out of balance. If I do catch it, also you're out of balance as you catch it, so you get these kind of movements. Actually, the body's been taken out of balance. So I've succeeded in catching the Joe, but I've done it at the expense of my own balance. So in this case, what the exercise really teaches is that I've got to really allow the whole body to go. So it's not that the hand snatches, it's that the body adjusts, and then I just catch it here. You can also do this, if you play this game, you can play with a partner or a kid or maybe a dog. No, I don't think you can do it with a dog. You can also do it with that hand here, and then you've really got to roll out the body. So the hand at the side and roll out of the body. Now, in a sense, this is the same game, the same exercise. What I want to do is, rather than snatch the Joe this way, snatch where I'm actually being pulled out of balance, what I want to do is really adjust the whole body to find the grab. Okay, so it's actually the whole body's finding the blend. So really just allow the Joe. You can play with this. The best way to do this is really let the Joe fall. So it really goes down to the ground. Now, if I'm snatching and I let it fall, then I will always miss it, almost always miss it. So just have a sense of letting the Joe really find the ground and really adjust the body to find it. That's a really opening the legs, the hips, and just see if you can find an on-top grab that way. Yeah, give it a try. So allow the Joe a little bit more freedom, and then it will allow the body to find some freedom too. Yeah. Okay, good. That's it. Yeah, and one test of it is just give yourself a little bit of time when you've caught the Joe. But here, really hold this position. I should feel very comfortable. I shouldn't feel like I need to get out of the position very quickly. So the test is like if I'm out of balance in these kind of positions, then I want to get very quickly out of that position. So if you find yourself kind of doing these kind of things, it's probably one of the symptoms of that is that I'm actually out of balance. I'm thrown out of balance. So just give yourself a bit of time here. I should feel very comfortable in that I can just raise up. So try and really find the ground and then raise up from the ground this way. Yeah, just give yourself a bit of time. Just pause a little bit in these kind of positions. I should feel very comfortable. Yeah, and then just come up. Yeah, give it a try. Just give yourself a bit of time after the connection. That's good, good, good. That's yeah, we go. Great. Uh-huh. That's okay, good. And then just open this movement out a little bit. So this is like looking at the outside on top movement. So you're basically going to kind of rotate into the movement now. So allow the jaw to move, rotate somewhere. So allow the jaw to go, rotate around it. Ideally, the jaw's going to kind of come towards my center line, like this. And what I'm going to do is, rotate off the line and take on top. So rotate off the line, take on top. And again, really allow the body to do it. So the contact in the hand can be quite loose. Roll and find this position. Okay, roll and find this position. Roll and find this position. Yeah, give it a try. There we go. Great. Super. Hello. Good. That's it. Good, 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 good. Good. Okay, good. And then just play with the inside underneath in this case. So this is the in this case the movement's slightly more difficult, the blend's slightly more difficult, but you're gonna take the back side and then take the back here. This way. So you're up this way, back side, backhand. And again that body really make the adjustments. So roll in underneath. Slightly harder to find, but it really blend, cut in underneath. This way. Start in this case quite small. Rolling in, rolling in, rolling in, rolling in this way. Good. So catching from underneath this time. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, good. Nice. Okay, good. The last one is the most difficult. This is where you're coming, rotating. Ooh, ow, ow, that hurt. You're gonna rotate to the outside and take underneath. So in this case, this is rotating underneath this way. This is the hardest blend to find. So what you're gonna do in this case, again, rotate into it and find the movement. So this is the hardest one. You're gonna rotate this way and then continue the jog. Rotate to the back, find the jaw this way. So allow it to come out, roll to the back, and continue. So you're going to rotate at the same time. Here, here, catch it underneath, and then roll through it this way. Yeah, just play with this one. Very tricky. Okay, good. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, and why this one's quite tricky, if I do the full movement, I can do this in a way, this is okay, but in a way I can do this without really rotating. And then what happens is like this kind of movement, this way. So I've rotated, but I've rotated minimally. In the case of this blend, if you imagine this against the ski, the person's going to rotate to the side this way. If they don't fully rotate and they take my arm, they're in this position here. So if you do a rotation, in this case, half like this, I will get hit in this case. So what I need to do in this blend against the thrust is fully turn to the back. So what I'm doing in this case, if you imagine this like a sword cut, what I'm doing is really slicing to the back this way. And the difficulty in it is that in that movement, that full rotation, I've got to make the contact this way. And I can make it easy on myself and make the contact here, but I'm actually I'm still in the line of the attack, and the attack will just continue through. So in a sense, what you want to do in this case is really roll fully to the back. Roll fully to the back. When I make the rotation, I want to see the back of the person's head. So I want to really get to the back of the person's head this way, and then the contact established here, this way. So this is why this one's quite tricky. But try and really get a sense that as you go, you're going to really rotate through the jaw. So I'm actually changing position totally. So it's not simply this way, but really rolling out the back this way. This is why it's very hard. So really rolling in the back this way. You're going to reach the jaw. Yeah, this blend hardly ever works. Low probability. This way. So really play with it. Yeah, that's it. So try and make a fuller rotation as you can. That's it. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's.
Oh. Is this kokenage, Michael?
This is.
You open and then you enter.
Yeah, this is a grip I would take. If you imagine what I'm going to take on the hand is like a sankyo grip. I'm going to take all the way down the hand this way, and then I'm going to open it out this way. And yeah, you go to the kokunage.
And then goes kokunage.
Sankyo. So
because I thought the first entry I was making it like 90 degrees because I thought it was sankyo. You know the ski attack with the sankyo, with the not ski, sorry, the bokken attack. Then you go to the side.
Like a shihonage.
No, shihonage, the sankyo. So
sankyo.
you go to the side and then you do the sankyo and finish the bokken attack. The side one, not 180 degrees, the 90 degrees one.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this way. Okay. Yeah, in this case, what you're going to do is roll all the way to the back. This way.
Okay.
And then open it out.
All right, thank you.
Keep going. Ah, that's it. Good. Ah, good. Huh, nice. Yeah. Good. Okay, then just really mix them up. So normally when I do this exercise with the ski, we just look at the blends. So just take the blend and then move to another one. Take the blend and then move to another one, and forget the techniques for the beginning. So in this case, just play with the 4, roll it down, allow it to come back up, and then find another. Yeah, roll it down, find another. Roll it down, find another. Start with like just going to the inside on top. Inside on top. And then start to really mix them in. Outside on top. Outside on top. Outside on top. Inside underneath. And then with a full rotation. And just start to play with the Joe a little bit. With me. Wow. Good. That's it. That's it. Yeah, great. Great. There we go. Nice. Okay, great. So the key. Oh, hello. The key to this is that I'm not really interfering. I'm not gonna change the course of the Joe. So where the Joe's going to, what I'm gonna do is join that direction and then go. In a sense, if I'm interfering with the Joe, in a sense, it goes this way, and then I try and take it to another place where it's not going. But in a sense, what I need to do is join the direction, and then manipulate it in a way that I like. So what I first need to do, in a sense, I can't just kind of manipulate it this way. This won't work. So I'm kind of interfering with the job. What I need to do, in a sense, now have the sense of join in the direction, and then you're going to add to it. So you're going to join in the direction and then add to it. Yeah. So just basically now continue the movement, join it, and then move it somewhere else. But it means a continuation of where the Joe's already moving to, this way. Rolling and then rolling out of it. So just play with these blends. This one, especially the Shihonage one's very nice. This way, this way. Just really continues the motion. This way, this way. Yeah, so just play with like a Nikyo. This way, like a Shihonage. This way, this way. Oh. There we go. Good, keep going. So try and kind of join it and then slightly divert it to another place. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Good, 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 good. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Great. Yeah. Okay, let's try this a little bit. What this exercise tends to is get kind of lost in the arm work again. So again, the same with the partner work when we work with the partner. So keep the Joe on the ground now and just pass it between the hands again. But really have the feeling of moving the body. So you're gonna keep the Joe in the ground and really have a sense that the body makes the movement this way. So obviously you can manipulate just with the arm this way or this way. So I can do it without moving the whole body, but in a sense, what I need to do is roll the whole body and then roll the whole body. So don't really worry about where the Joe goes, but have the feeling almost of passing through somewhere. And the Joe kind of comes with you. So connect through it and then pass the body through. Try and do this just with one hand. So roll through it. But again, really prioritize the body work. This way, keeping the Joe in the ground. In order to keep the Joe in the ground, the connection, what I've got to do is really open the body up. This way. This way. So try this just with one hand. Rolling the body through. Rolling the body. Good. That's it, good. And then just begin to work with both hands. So you're going to pass it now between the hands. So work constantly now in motion. Work with the hands. But just keep one hand at a time on the job. So similar to the exercise we did at the start, but now really prioritizing body work. Oh, don't do that. Really roll in the body, one hand at a time. Keep the jaw on the ground. Roll through. Really explore different movements. This way. Just one hand at a time. This way. This way. This way. These are tricky to do. That's it. Good. Yeah. Ah, nice. Good. Good. Ah, that's it. Okay, great. And then what you're going to do is bring in the other hand now. So really you're going to start to work much more into the idea of technique now. So just start by keeping the jaw in the ground again and just feel that you connect the backhand into a movement now. So roll through it, and just start to bring in the backhand. So rolling through. You're going to really involve the other hand in the movement and just see if you can make contact from the jaw. Start by making it the contact close to the hand, with a feeling of really passing through, rolling through it. This way. Yeah, so really have a sense now of the backhand coming in. The backhand really like as a supporting role. So the hand that's grabbed, this is your real control, and then the other hand is your secondary hand. This way. So it plays like a kind of supporting way. This way. This way. Good. So just get used to bringing the other hand in. That's it. That's it. Great. Good. Good. Okay, and then to give some kind of finish to it, just move to it, connect, and then again, have the feeling that you continue the pressure into the ground and apply into the ground. So not really in a full technique, but just to give a sense of finish to the end, roll in. You can really play with the jaw here. So where the hand goes now, start to open this out, roll in, connecting into the ground and pressing through. So we're almost skipping the technique part, but just have a sense of connecting into the ground, rolling through. So move it, move the second hand, connect it. And start to see if you can kind of blend them into one another. Roll the movements through, and then play through. You can kind of chain the movements again. You can keep it a long sequence. And then when you feel like it, just come in and finish it. Press it down. Yeah, give it a try. Good. Good. Okay, last exercise. This is where you're going to go really like into full technique. So start with the jaw in the ground, this way. What you're going to do is this feeling is a bit like pulling it out of the ground, this way. So now as it falls, you're going to make contact and roll it out of the ground, this way. So a bit like it's stuck in the ground and I'm going to pull it up out of the ground. A little bit like this way. I'm going to kind of draw it with me. So now this is blending, leading, and then taking the control from the jaw. So the key to this is what we looked at before, that when I move, I'm in a solid position. Now this ability to be solid allows me to then roll the person out of the balance. This is where you're gonna basically uproot the person. This is the kazushi point. So when you do this one, really have a sense of drawing them away from the balance point. This is where I become the pivot point now. So I become the contact to the ground. And then what you do is rolling through, pressing down. And you can also finish back in the ground if you want. But just play with this key. The key part is this, rolling it out of the ground. And then controlling the contact, pressing in. So start with the kind of ikkyos, shihonages, these kind of movements that you're familiar with. Rolling through. So you're going to roll them all the way out of the ground. Roll the jaw all the way up the ground. This way. Yeah, so start to really open the movements out now. Good. Yeah, good. That's it. Okay, and just really try and extend the contact point. So what I do when we go to contact, or when we go to techniques in this practice, is really try and draw this kazushi point out. So really try and extend it away, and really feel the point where you draw the person's balance away from them, and I control their balance here, this way. So their balance is actually in me, so in the ground, and then what I do is I control that balance, because they've sacrificed their balance towards me, or I've manipulated the balance in a way where it's in my ground. And then what I do is roll through and use it. So really in this case, with the Joe, just the last few minutes, really get a sense that you're gonna control the person out this way. So just slightly extend this moment this way, rolling them out of the ground. So don't rush this movement. Yeah. And the setup needs to be really kind of perfect. Otherwise I get locked in. This is kind of stuck. And then I go to pulling. In a sense, I want now one motion where I'm drawing them out of the ground this way. Drawing them out of the ground this way. Yeah, so it's actually done in the motion. This way. In the motion. So just practice the blend work. Try and kind of thicken it up, or thicken the contact. This way. That's it. Yes, good. Okay, and then just the last minute, just play with the Joe here. So just play, you can play with it in any way, but now it's going to be off the ground. So just going to move the body, in a sense, kind of like a jiwaza, but just keep the connection, keep the techniques kind of moving. So without end, just rolling, play with the connection, and really just explore the Joe through the body work and through the contact between the hands. So just play with these kind of movements. Transitioning, playing, and really rolling down this way. And just really play with transitioning between their hands, but all done through the body work. It's like when you chain techniques together, sometimes we do in the dojo. Okay, great. Good. So it's in a way it's trying to introduce a little bit of how do you say, volatility? No, uncertainty to the Joe work. So we tend to over control. I mean, everything we do, we tend to kind of over control. But in a sense, we start to become kind of rigid in this way. The other way you can do this exercise is you get someone else to throw the Joe at you. So you get someone to stand across from you and you throw the Joe at them. And then what you've got to do is move off the line and control it. Okay, so you try and move, blend with it and catch it, and then you can do the same kind of techniques. This is a good way to lose control, because this is the main issue we have. Certainly when we go to Jiwaza and yeah, these kind of Jiwaza techniques, we need to kind of let go a little bit. So this is a way to work it with the Joe too. Kidoki, we'll bow out. Hey, domo, arigatou gozaimasu.
Domo, arigatou gozaimashita.
Super. Great.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Loved it.
Very good.
Yeah, excellent again. Thank you.
Great. Looks
Thank you,
good.
Michael.